kids lack impulse control.
What makes you think that makes sense, that that's acceptable?
The stupidity is strong.
It's time to tell it like it is.
And another one. And another one. I don't understand what has to be wrong with these grown adult people to not understand in their brains that it's not a good idea to voluntarily invite into your children's life the use of these deadly weapons. All these excuses. In case somebody breaks in the house and me or my wife can't get to the gun, all these stupid ass excuses. Why would you want to subject your child to such a difficult decision, such a traumatizing situation and decision to make? A decision as serious as unaliving another person. Why would you want to subject your child to that? You don't care how that may affect your young child. To think it makes sense for a child, mentally and emotionally immature. They are mentally and emotionally immature. There's so much about life that they have not experienced. This most recent shooting at the mall, 13-year-old who lost her life to this nonsense in the mall, these kids feuding with each other, two groups of boys feuding with each other. One pulls out a firearm. Again, here it is. Another situation, here it is. It's not a question of whether the guns are easy or difficult to access. When the actual parents themselves are given this invitation to firearms to their children at such a young age. Lack of parental guidance. Lack of parental guidance. Huge problem.
Girl was shot and killed inside a mall. This happened at the Alderwood Mall in Linwood. Police say that girl caught in the crossfire of a gun battle in the food court. Let's get right to KOMO's Mo Hyder, who's been gathering new information as the story has developed overnight. Mo.
Yeah, of course, this is a very popular mall in the area, and as you mentioned, this happened inside at the food court. This is also at a time during dinner time when people were there with their family and friends as well. Go ahead and take a look at your screen here. This is from the Linwood Police Department. They have identified the victim as Jada Woods Johnson. We've learned there was an altercation inside between two groups, and that's when a teenager fired a gun and the bullet hit Johnson.
The last violent incident in the mall's food court was back in 2017, excuse me, when a man stabbed a security guard during a scuffle over food handling practices. That guard was not seriously injured, and the person who stabbed him claimed he acted in self-defense. All right, that brings us to this morning's KOMO Post Poll, so grab your cell phone this morning. We have covered so many cases involving young teens and guns recently, so this is what we're asking this morning as you grab your cell phone. What do you think is the biggest driver of gun violence among young people? 43% there in the second spot saying perceived lack of legal consequences. 33%, so a third of our folks responding so far this morning saying a lack of parental guidance. 16% saying guns are too easy to access. As you see these numbers changing lives. 7% saying kids lack impulse control. Let us know what you think.
Stabbing in the food court, shot in the food court. I don't understand how it's not getting through to these adults, these grown ass people. What are you not understanding about these situations? The adults are to blame. The parents are to blame. Why is it that you, as an adult, think it makes sense to allow access, to willingly provide access to your young children, whether you're teaching them or not, to provide access to these weapons? They are not mature enough. They have not experienced enough in life. Let's be completely real. There's a lot of adults who are lacking mentally and emotionally, who have not matured mentally and emotionally. And you see how they respond, how they use weapons against each other. And you think it makes sense for a child
Life that we are certain. Life that we are certain has not experienced enough yet. Life that we are certain is still immature mentally and emotionally. And it makes sense to you. It makes sense to you to make it okay for them to be exposed to the use of deadly weapons. Something is not right with the parents. They push this idea in these firearms training classes and many other places. The guy on social media teaching his children how to use the firearms. They look like they're literally only about 6 to 8 years old. What makes you think that makes sense, that that's acceptable?
The stupidity is strong. The stupidity, it runs so deep, it's so daggone strong.